Welcome BTG Moto viewers to another episode of BTG Moto. My name's Dale. If you don't know me already, then I'm the guy that runs this channel and I'm the guy that lives at the Nurburgring. I've done about a bazillion laps of the Nurburgring, but before that I was for nearly 10 years a professional motorcycle journalist. Today I'm going to be riding this beautiful 2022 Kawasaki Ninja 650. As you can tell from the British flag on the front, it's actually one of my friend's bikes. I've had it for the last couple of weeks, and in today's video what we're going to do is we're going to say goodbye to the bike. Goodbye 22 Kawasaki Ninja 650. Going to give you my final thoughts on what the bike is, what it means, and who should buy it and who shouldn't buy it. And as well as that, we're going to do that on the way to the Nürburgring, where in fact it is touristenfahrten until 8 o'clock tonight. I told you, TF's pretty interesting at times. But we're going to have some fun and we're going to say goodbye to the Ninja 650 in style. So, if you want to know more about the 2022 Kawasaki Ninja 650, or you want to know more about Grand Prix track touristenfahrten at the Nürburgring, then you know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow this video, and let's go. First things first, I want to praise the Kawasaki for the good stuff. The good stuff is that this is a 20,000 kilometre old bike. It's been all around Europe. It's done tours down south. It's even gone to the top of Scotland with me. It's done a lot. And it doesn't feel like a 20,000 kilometre old bike at all. In fact, in the last couple of weeks, it's actually done nearly 1,000 kilometres just around the Nurburgring Nordschleife with a friend of mine. I think she's done 800 kilometres pretty much on the Nurburgring. Shout out to Linda. Well done, Linda. So as I was saying, let's talk about the really good stuff first. The good stuff is the overall packaging of this motorbike is so good. You get on it and it just feels easy peasy. Feels really nice. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Look, there's a lot of road closures. Let's talk really quickly about all the good stuff on this bike. Like I said, the packaging is really good. The build quality is really awesome, actually. I mean, in the 25 years that I've been buying and selling motorcycles, unfortunately buying a lot more than I sold, in those years Kawasaki's have often been hit or miss, with some being very, very good quality and some being really poor quality. These days Kawasaki have a much better reputation, and with bikes like this, the beginner level Ninja 650, which is built really solidly and feels really nice, then I can see why they've got a better rep these days than when I was chugging around on an old ER5 or GPZ 500. What's not changed a lot in those 25 years, I have to say, is the amount of power that they're pulling out of a parallel twin motor. I mean, this is a 650 parallel twin, 180 degree crank angle, and it's doing 68 horsepower. 68 horsepower is on par for this class of motorcycle. I have just passed my motorcycle test and I want a quote unquote big bike, and that's fine. But it's never going to set the world alight. And I think a lot of people were disappointed by the fact that, you know, the old ER6, it was 72 horsepower and then it went down to 68 in this new generation. It is kind of disappointing, I have to agree. Anyway, let's carry on with the good stuff. Next good stuff, that screen. Boy, this feels like a really expensive bike now, you know? It feels like a quality bike. The screen's really good. You've got range, trip, a little fuel gauge, a gear indicator. The RPM is really easy to see out of your peripheral vision. Everything's great. Can't complain about that at all. Next good thing, the engine. The engine, despite being somewhat disappointed on paper, in real life is an absolute gem. It's so smooth, it's really, really torquey. You just crack the throttle and it goes bop, 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 bop. And it kind of sounds like a big single with that 180 degree crank. I'm so used to 270 degrees now. You know, the fake V-twin where you take a parallel twin and you give it the big bang treatment. And my Aprilia runs that configuration, feels great. The Yamaha R7 also has a 270 degree crank. You know, that's the same engine as the Tenere 700. And they all feel really V-twinny and really torquey. And that's something that the Kawasaki doesn't do. And it's kind of sad. But also, hey, it's one of the, pardon me, it's also one of the last 180 degree parallel twins that you can buy. So it's kind of like, it's not bad, you know. It's got a bit of something unique. So if you're in the market for a brand new bike and, you know, Kawasaki green is your favourite colour, and you're one of those Kawasaki guys, then by all means, definitely go book yourself a test ride on a Ninja 650, or indeed any bike on this platform, because don't forget you've got the Versys 650, which is same chassis, same engine. You've got the Z650 RS, which is so cool. It looks really, really good. That's your classic 70s, 80s superbike style in a little 650 twin. As you can see, there's quite a few bikes here. Let's just have a little run up and down here. We've got a few bikes over there. Look. LM number plates, MG. They're from a fair distance away. And then, oh look, new GS 1300. Fancy that. Entrance to the track is up there. Obviously these guys will be bricking it now. They'll be looking at me, they'll be seeing me. They'll be seeing me Ninja 650 and they'll be like, oh damn, I hope he's not going to go on the track and embarrass us. Yeah, some nice bikes here today, look. Ah, RS250. Nice fresh. G6R. Okay, so I think we're going to go through. Looks like the pit garages are open up there. Now, I'm just going to turn the cameras off for a moment. Dankeschön. Damn, boy. There's some expensive metal here today, eh? And here we are with the Ninja 650. And why not indeed? How it works in touristenfahrten, if you've not seen any of my GP track touristenfahrten videos before, is it's basically a free-for-all, and they're going to let the motorcycles go first, and then the cars will follow. And we get a little head start. The idea is to separate the cars and the bikes on track. The reality is, the really fast cars are going to chase us down pretty damn quickly, especially on the old Ninja 650 here. Yeah, like if you want some lap times, like GP track on a good sports bike, if you're doing a track day here and you're on a litre bike, you should be doing about 210 to 215 if you kind of have a happy amateur. And some of these cars, they can do 210s, like the GT3 RSs and the GT4s back at the end of that queue, and then AMG GTRs. They can do that lap time with pretty much anybody who's played Assetto Corsa. I ain't going to be doing that lap time on a Ninja 650 on Pilot Road 6s. Not unless you put a JATO rocket attached to the back. So with that in mind, I think we'll see some interesting stuff happening. And we will get to talk about the things I don't like about the bike. Because we talked about the things I do like, but let's talk about the things I don't like. First of all, I'm a fat guy, I'm pretty heavy, I'm over 100 kilos in my leathers. Quite a bit over actually. And yeah, there's no preload adjustment at all, no preload adjustment. The forks are completely unadjustable at this price point, normal. But also the rear shock has no preload adjustment either. And that kind of sucks. It's like sitting in a couch when you want to go fast. And it does bring me back to an argument that we were kind of skirting around on a previous video with this bike, which is the Ninja 650 really a sports bike? I'm going to put my reputation on the line here. I'm going to say that a sports bike is what you do with it. It's a Ninja 650 can do sport bike things. Not a problem. That Marshall enjoys his job way too much. Okay, so Visor down and closed. Looks like, well, he's got his, I mean, that's a lovely thing. That's a HP 4, the original super duper super bike from BMW. Now I shouldn't be worried too much. My brain is telling me to go easy because I'm on cold tyres, but I have just ridden here. Nice, it's the full GP track. So you have to remember that the touristenfahrten session is not a track day, so the pace is not track day pace. It's that kind of pace mostly. So don't feel that if you can't get your knee down, you can't do touristenfahrten. You totally can. It's literally called tourist striving, you know. These guys are just warming up and I'm absolutely flat out on this Ninja. The back shock is already complaining to me. That's it. That's flat out. Yeah, so getting back on point, I'd like to mention the fact that for a bike that carries the Ninja name, I do find the suspension is a little bit too hard when you're trying to go slow, and it's a little bit too soft when you're trying to go fast. I guess that's a compromise position, but I have ridden bikes with better damping than this. Admittedly, they are expensive bikes. Oh, okay, we'll get that apex next lap. The ABS just kicks in every now and again, just to upset you, but only if you're going quite fast and you go quite late and grabby on the brakes. If you brake smooth and normal, you'll be fine. Oh, what's this? A 2-minute 30. Good bike. Nothing bad about it at all, really. My point is, if you're in the market for a new bike and you want a sports bike, but it's your first few years on a bike, this Ninja 650 is absolutely gonna make you smile. And do you know what else will make you smile about the Ninja 650? It doesn't matter which country you're in, I find that the used prices are very reasonable. Oh, somebody's crashed. Let's make sure it's not dropped fluid. He's already over the fence, he's up there, look. He's fine. Oh, and by the way, this has a slipper clutch, can you believe? Oh, the old destructible that. The first car. Oh, you see? That guy in the car was looking up the inside, but I'm telling you, that guy in the GSXR, he is not looking behind him at all. So, you see, the fastest car in the group has caught us, but the slowest cars in the group are actually just ahead of us. That's how big a difference there is from fast to slow. Oh, gravel on the track. I see a Porsche. I told you, TF's pretty interesting at times. I'll point the Porsche through. That's a Porsche Turbo, by the way, cabriolet. I told you, TF's pretty wild, eh? Whoa. I did not want to turn in on that. That could have been the last time I ever turned in on a racetrack doing that. Oh, it's a shame because I missed the spark show. That was a little bit naughty, that overtake. Wasn't terrible though. I've seen worse. There we go. That's a bit closer to the apex. I was apexing way too early before. The Fiesta is driving really nice. His lights aren't super tight, but they're very good. And his acceleration for a Ford Fiesta is incredible. He's going to push that GSXR down the straight, look. Okay, end of session. Praying to the gods, praying that the camera battery lasted the whole session. Well, I have been wanting to do that to the Kawasaki since the day I picked her up. And what do you think? I think it did really, really well. I mean, genuinely, I think it went really, really well. Oh, it was a Kawasaki ZX-10, I think, the Fiesta was pushing. Yeah, look at that. That's what we call, here in Germany, in this part of the Nurburgring, we call that a ring tool. That's somebody's road legal car that is all set up just to go around the racetrack and still be road legal. That is a ring tool. Full roll cage, stock wheels, but look at those brakes. APE 6000s. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go park it here next to the Hawk Tour MX-5. Oh dear. What's been happening? We've been scraping bits off. Right. Oh, that camera crashed. So unfortunately the second camera crashed. I'm really sorry. I don't know why, but this DJI Action 3 is actually, it's got the least hours on it, but for some reason it started crashing. I tried a new battery and a new SD card, but I digress. Anywho, back tyres looking good, front tyres looking a bit sweaty, but it's fine really. Just a bit of, that's just a bit of texture. So okay, Ninja 650, great motorbike, really happy with it. There was a moment where I thought I was going to keep it, and I was actually going to sell the VFR 800, and I was going to keep the Ninja 650 because I just really like thrashing slow bikes around racetracks. But then I fell in love with the VFR 800 again, so the Ninja 650 is getting sold. And if you're in the market for a sports bike, but you don't need 100 horsepower, or you don't want 100 horsepower, then the Ninja 650 is a great choice. And I think it's a fantastic bike. I really do, especially at the used values that they are right now. If I could give you one piece of advice, if you're watching this video because you're in the market for your first ever sports bike, do yourself a favour and get something like a Ninja 650 or an R7 or something 60 to 80 horsepower. Because honestly, if you go big bike first, it spoils your corner speed. It really does. Spoils your braking points, spoils your corner speed, and you don't learn much from it. The number of people I've coached in the last 25 years that can't go around corners and yet have 200 horsepower bikes is ridiculous. So that's just my 2 cents. If you enjoy the channel, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and then you'll see me on the next video. Until then, goodbye. If you're looking at this video now and you're thinking to yourself, could you really just ride up to the Nurburgring and go around it on a Sunday? Yes, you can. That cost me €35, that session. And it would have cost me less if I had a season ticket and I did a lot of laps. Season ticket is £3 though, so you've got to do a lot of sessions. You've got to do 100 sessions.